Ika Roa by Richard Caves and Marcos Avlonitis. Episode 5.
This is the Ika Roa police force. Come out with your hands above your heads.
Chief Breton, sir, let our men handle this. We're experienced dealing with hostage situations.
Absolutely not. Sophie's men are responsible for this mess, and my department is here to clean it up.
Chief, the Deputy Governor is in there. If this gets out of control...
I'm not going to let it get out of control, Darren. I'm taking action. Okay, men, we're storming the building. Go, go, go!
Shayne, the hostages! They're using them as human shields! We're firing on the hostages!
Cease fire! Everyone stop shooting!
This is good lobster, Shayne.
Lobster-flavoured reconstituted protein, to be precise. But it's still the best food I've had in months. More wine?
So, what made you decide to stay on Ika Roa? You and Darrow seem to go back a long way. You must have a good reason for parting company after all this time.
Besides wanting to be with you, Sophie?
Come on, Shayne. I don't have any illusions.
Darrow taught me everything I know about space exploration. We set up trading posts on dozens of worlds together, but the last world, before Ika Roa, changed everything. The planet was in Sector 18 Omega, called Pellistos. The days were 36 hours long and the gravity was crushing. They worship this kind of two-headed wolf god, the Trickster. Well, that's if you can hate something and worship it at the same time. It was a special day of celebration. The population had gathered at the foot of their great statue of the Trickster. I was representing Esther at the ceremony. It was supposed to be Darrow, but he'd made the unforgivable gaffe of wearing black at the naming ceremony of the leader's newborn son. So, as usual, I stepped in. Everything was going fine, and then all of a sudden this riot breaks out. People throwing things, screaming, attacking each other. It was as if everyone had been seized by a murderous rage. I found myself caught in the middle of it and had to radio Darrow for assistance. He said that it was my call, so I made it. I gave the order to Marine Commander Fletcher in an attempt to restore order. His men went in with batons and riot shields, and the locals retaliated fiercely. The Marines started pulling out their sidearms, either on Fletcher's order or of their own accord. It was never clear. In the end, there were 78 colonists dead and hundreds injured.
Hell. I have nightmares about that kind of scenario. Did the riot turn out to be part of the festival or something?
Naturally. They were casting out the spirit of the Trickster from each other. The ritual usually results in a handful of deaths each year, apparently, but we, Fletcher, Darrow and I, are responsible for a massacre.
I can't imagine what it must have been like to live with that. Have you talked this through with anyone before?
Only the Esther Disciplinary Tribunal. We were cleared of all charges. Apparently, the company bureaucrats hear cases like ours with alarming regularity.
Shayne, I don't think it was your fault. You made the best decision you could in a confused situation.
But I resent Darrow for forcing me to make that call. As usual, he dithered and left the hard choices up to me. I reckon if that's the way it's going to be, I should at least get the credit for the 99% of decisions I get right. I've got to be my own man. So I'm going to build a life for myself on Ika Roa that has nothing to do with Darrow or the Entemidor.
Shayne, I'd like you to stay on Ika Roa, but are you sure that you really... Bloody thing.
It's all right. Answer it.
Oh, hell. Shayne, I have to go.
A security situation?
I can't explain here, but you better get back to your office. Thanks for the dinner.
Sir, there's nothing I could have done.
You should have stopped him, Darren. The man's a moron, shooting the hostages he was trying to save.
Chief Breton wouldn't listen to me. He just sent his men straight in there, guns blazing. By the time he realised the hostages were being used as shields, everyone in the building was dead.
Why were the local police involved in the first place? This operation was under our jurisdiction.
It was supposed to be a routine raid, sir. We knew that the warehouse was being used for smuggling activities, but when we turned up, well, the Deputy Governor was there and the smugglers threatened to shoot him if we didn't back down. Since it had turned into a hostage situation with a local government official, I thought I should call Chief Breton.
You should have called me.
I thought I could handle it, sir, and I didn't want to ruin your evening.
Ruin my evening? Damn it, Darren. The Deputy Governor of Ika Roa is dead on my watch.
Sophie, you'll have my resignation.
I don't want your resignation. We're in the middle of an investigation.
An investigation, sir? But the hostage takers are all dead. Police incompetence is surely a matter of Governor Warren.
Darren, has it occurred to you to ask what the Deputy Governor was doing in a shady warehouse in the Lower Flax district?
We knew that he was involved in some low-level smuggling, trying to avoid Esther duty on cigars and alcohol.
Those men had military-grade firearms. They took hostages. If you're smuggling cigars, you don't draw attention to yourself by being armed to the teeth, and you certainly don't threaten to kill a government official to avoid capture. Did you find out what they were smuggling?
No, the cargo is still inside the warehouse. The local police have the whole place cordoned off as a crime scene.
Darren, I don't care if Chief Breton converted the warehouse into a community arts centre. Find out what's in those crates.
Yes, sir.
Speaker Shelby, Congressman Anderson, what do you want?
Governor Warren, we want to discuss the delicate matter.
We demand to know whom you'll be nominating to replace the Deputy Governor.
The man's corpse is still warm, and you're already fighting.
Governor, you're more than 40 years old. You could die at any time.
What Mr. Shelby means to say is, if you were to finally succumb to your condition, heavens forbid, in the midst of a crisis, there needs to be a clear line of succession, a duly appointed deputy.
Well, I was thinking about nominating one of you two.
What? You're seriously considering Anderson? He's only a few years younger than you are. This planet needs a strong governor, deputy governor, I mean, with youth, determination and vision.
Vision? Really? What's your vision for Ika Roa, Mr. Shelby?
The traders need to be put in their place. We cannot watch idly as they take our land, our jobs, our future in exchange for worthless technology. If they won't leave voluntarily, we'll force them to go.
Shelby, I refuse to listen to any more of this xenophobic nonsense. Governor, you and I both know that Ika Roa can't go back to the Dark Ages. We need the prosperity and wealth that the traders bring.
The wealth they bring to Ika Roa, Mr. Anderson. All the wealth they bring to your campaign chests and your many private business interests.
Warren, my personal financial arrangements are beside the point.
Thank you, Mr. Anderson, Mr. Shelby, for making my decision easier. I will be nominating neither of you.
That's absurd. I'm Speaker of the House, Warren. If you nominate someone else, I'll see to it that you never get another piece of legislation past Congress again.
And I have the support of the party faithful, Governor. If you push me aside, I dread to think what they might do in retaliation.
I don't respond to threats. Get out of my office, both of you.
Captain on the bridge?
Ah, Mr. Yates. Glad to have you back on board. Well, did you and Lieutenant Fernandez enjoy your shore leave?
Yes, thank you. Megan, the lieutenant, and I had a nice time.
Really? Well, there's nothing down there except dust and, well, more dust. What did you even do?
The sights, sir. We saw the sights. The Volador has completed its hypertranslation and is entering orbit.
Oh, very good, Mr. Yates. Give me a visual.
Aye, aye, sir. Look at that beauty. Twice our length, state-of-the-art tachyon ion drive.
Well, it's elegant, I'll grant you that, but I don't know, give me the rugged, reliable beauty of the Intimidor any day.
You're just jealous because Gascoigne's got a better ship than you.
That's not Gascoigne's ship. The only thing Gascoigne ever commanded is a toilet seat. The Volador is under the command of the distinguished Elizabeth Clark.
Youngest captain in the fleet, I believe. There was a report about her on the Esther channels. A very distinguished officer.
Yeah, well, youth isn't everything, Isaac.
The Volador has launched the shuttle, sir. Captain Clark is coming aboard.
Excellent. You have the bridge, Mr. Yates. Do you think I've got time for a shave?
Amelie, isn't it?
Yes, I'm the new research assistant. You're a nurse at the clinic here?
My name's Rose. I've been working with Dr. Mallory for ages. I was wondering if you had any questions, worries, concerns?
Why would I?
As you're new here, I just thought...
Ah, there you are.
Dr. Mallory?
Would you mind leaving us for a bit, Nurse...
Nurse Rose.
Rose, of course.
I'll catch you later, Amelie. It was nice to meet you.
Goodbye.
How are you settling in, Amala?
Fine, but...
Yes?
So far the work you've had me doing has been trivial.
Yes, I know. You see, much of my work is of a highly sensitive, even secretive nature. I do research that would not be approved by the Order of Apothecaries. You understand that I can only have those I trust completely assisting me on certain projects.
Are you saying you do not trust me?
Amala, your medical knowledge is too extensive to be wasted on lesser pursuits, but you're still very much an enigma to me. Before I decide whether to let you in all the way, I should like to know a little more about you, and your people.
What do you wish to know?
Most of all, how a 20-year-old girl from what is supposed to be a primitive, pre-Lightspeed group of settlers has medical knowledge equaling that of a high-ranking apothecary.
It may be difficult for you to understand.
Try me. I'm remarkably clever.
My people existed on Earth centuries before interstellar travel. We prized biological perfection above all else, and performed extensive research into genetic engineering. A carefully selected group of us left Earth long before the Great Exodus, on a ship travelling at less than half the speed of light. We took our science and our technology with us, in hope of finding a world on which to create a society of biologically perfected humans. And in the end, we found Ika Roa. Our search took many generations. But as planned, these generations were not the product of sexual reproduction. Instead, the ship's laboratories were used to clone one generation from the next. Each generation was enhanced to make it stronger, fitter, and more intelligent.
Guided evolution. Fascinating. This may explain how your people came to have a partial resistance to disorder. You continue these practices today?
Yes, each of us is produced to a very precise specification in the laboratory and named according to the role that we've been designed to fulfill.
And what role is Amala designed to fulfill?
Amala is Kara in waiting, a clone of Kara, which she modifies to enhance her strengths and eliminate her weaknesses. I've been trained from birth both in the art of leading and the science of perfecting my people.
Yet you do not wish to return to them?
No. On the journey from Earth, my people started believing that biological perfection was inextricably linked to spiritual purity. They began to develop arcane rituals, endowing their practice of our science with cosmic significance. I mean, when I become Kara, I'm supposed to stick a knife in my mother's heart. How crazy is that?
An unusual custom, to say the least.
It's pure insanity. These beliefs stifle creativity and pervert our objectives. I wish to give my life to the scientific goal of perfecting humanity, not to some misguided quest for purity.
Then I shall give you what you seek, Amala. I appoint you my new head researcher. Your pay and security clearance will be upgraded presently.
Thank you, Nicholas. This means more than I can say.
I now feel I understand you better as a person, Amala, but genetically you're still a mystery. I can't understand how you could have survived the disorder when even your people's natural resistance isn't enough to save them.
That is something we shall have to discover together.
Governor Warren, you need to take your medication.
So that, Gregson. I want you to set up a meeting with Anderson. Off the record, strictly confidential. See if he's prepared to become governor.
You mean deputy governor?
I'm a sick man, Gregson. I'm not going to last until next election. I'll never get Anderson confirmed as my deputy by the present Congress. Shelby's got them wrapped around his little finger. And if I keel over without a deputy, Shelby's technically next in line. However, if I can wrangle an early election, I think Anderson stands a chance. His popularity with grassroots means he could beat Shelby to the Socialist Party nomination.
But why not just stay in power for as long as you can? It's not like you're going to die tomorrow.
I have to do everything possible to stop Shelby from becoming governor. I'm no lover of the traders, and Mr. Anderson is certainly too friendly with them, but if we kick them out, we're right back to where we started. Not enough food, not enough energy, not enough medicine. I hate it, but he's right. We can't gamble the future of Ika Roa on whether or not I drop dead in the next 2 years.
Sir, when you step down, can I still be your assistant?
Just set up the damn meeting, Gregson.
Permission to come aboard, Captain Darrow?
Oh, permission granted, Captain Clark. Welcome to the Intimidor.
It's an honour to meet you, Darrow. If you don't mind me saying, you're kind of a hero of mine.
Really?
All those stories of gritty life on the frontier, how you worked your way up from nothing, you're my reason for joining up. I decided to make captain as soon as I could, have my own pioneership like you.
Well, you made it in record time. How old are you, anyway?
21, actually.
Yeah. That's a remarkably short time in which to rise up the chain of command. Well done.
On my ship, I've done away with the chain of command. I find it reduces bureaucracy, encourages individuals to shine.
I mean, no one has an official rank. Well, how on earth do you maintain discipline?
Everyone just does what I say.
Indeed. And how many assignments have you had to date?
2.
And this will be your third?
My second. But don't worry, I've been studying Mr. McFadden's security reports. I'm prepared for whatever Ika can throw at me.
Yeah, don't be too sure, Captain. I expect the handover period to last for about 36 hours. I'll show you the ropes, sign the necessary documentation, and then the Intimidor will be on its way.
Off exploring new worlds on the frontier.
Yeah, I never feel quite right staying in the gravitational pull of any one planet for too long.
I almost wish I could join you.
Oh, I expect you'll have plenty of excitement right here.
Welcome to this issue's in-depth immigration special. Many in Governor Warren's own party have criticised his lax approach to the recent influx of traders. Speaker Shelby, is this economic common sense, or is Ika Roa being swamped?
Well, Kirsty, what's very clear is that the expansionist ambitions of the traders need to be put in check. Since their arrival, they have doubled the size of our city with our offices, factories and residential... Kirsty, if I may interject.
Mr. Anderson, go ahead.
What Mr. Shelby fails to point out is that while the size of our city has doubled, the size of our economy has more than tripled. We're richer now as a society than at any... Who's richer, Anderson? It's certainly not your honest Joe, employed by the traders for half the minimum wage. No. It's corporate investors like yourself, with lucrative...
Gregson, turn that wretched thing off.
Subsidised
Yes,
by
sir.
the tax.
Have you set up that meeting with Anderson yet?
Yes, he's coming straight from the studio.
What are you looking so nervous about?
Oh, sir, it's Sophie Franks again. She's demanding...
Warren!
It's her!
I don't believe this. You could have had the courtesy to tell me.
Miss Franks?
I've been investigating the Deputy Governor's death.
That's Chief Breton's jurisdiction, Miss Franks.
Chief Breton is a bumbling idiot, which I think is exactly what you were betting on, seeing as you're responsible for this.
I beg your pardon?
Did you think I wouldn't find out that you've been smuggling black market medical supplies right under my nose? You were sending the Deputy Governor to negotiate with the smugglers because he already had links to the black market. He got killed doing your dirty work.
That's quite a leap, Miss Franks. Are you basing this on any actual evidence?
A search of the Deputy Governor's home was enough to get me this far.
An illegal search, no doubt.
It's not my fault the judge wouldn't grant me a warrant.
Are you intending to go public with your allegations?
I'm not trying to undermine your position, Governor. My problem is that the same shady characters you've been using to bring in your medical supplies have also been smuggling heavy weaponry past my security checks.
Heavy weaponry? What are you talking about?
Chief Breton hasn't told you?
I'm expecting his report within the hour.
The crates in the warehouse contain 50 assault rifles, 40 grenades, 10 rocket launchers and 5 high explosive charges.
Who could want all that on Ika Roa?
It crossed my mind that you might want the guns for yourself. That you were planning to upgrade the city's police force to a small army without Esther's knowledge. But I don't think that's your style.
Could it be terrorists?
All I know is, if someone gets hold of that kind of firepower, it's not going to be good for the rest of us.
You have to find out where those guns are going, Sophie.
Which means I'm going to need the names of your contacts.
Dr. Nicholas Mallory arranges for the meds to be shipped, but his channels can't handle getting the volumes I need past your security checks.
So you've hired a local smuggler to get the meds past customs. Who are you using?
Mariah Bennett.
Mariah? Really?
You recognise the name?
Oh, I know it very well.
Miss Franks. Sophie. I did this because I had no choice. Between the officiousness of the Apothecaries Guild and Gascoigne's tantrum, I was left with no other way of getting medication to my people. I couldn't stand by and watch them suffer. Do you understand that?
Yes, Governor. What I don't understand is why you didn't do this through me rather than making dodgy arrangements with gun smugglers.
I didn't know if I could turn to you on this one. Look, I've dug myself a hole, young lady, and I'd be very grateful if you could help me out of it.
That's what I'm here for. If people just came to me first, nothing would ever go wrong around here.
Amelie, wait up.
Nurse Rose?
I was wondering if you could help me out with something.
Yes?
It's just a silly thing. Dr. Mallory asked me to send up some blood samples, but, well, I put them on the wrong trolley, and now I think they've ended up in Lab 4.
Can't you go to Lab 4 and get them?
That's the thing. I don't have security clearance for Lab 4. I would ask Dr. Mallory, but that would be dreadfully embarrassing. Since you're a senior researcher now, I was wondering if you could, you know...
What's the serial number on the samples?
I'm such a scatterbrain. I can't remember. I think it had a 3 in it. I'm sure I'd recognise the tray if I saw it.
Very well. Come with me.
Thanks for this, Amelie. You're a real lifesaver. This is the lab here.
There.
Oh my god. Amelie, look. There are hundreds of them. What are they?
Vital suspension units. They're people who've had their living processes frozen. This must be the research he's kept hidden from the apothecaries.
What could Dr. Mallory need with so many frozen people? Amelie, this is wrong. We have to do something.
Mariah, I heard you were in town.
Sophie Franks. Now there's a surprise.
That's a nice ship you've got there, Mariah.
Thank you. So, you here on a job, Frankie?
In a manner of speaking. Nobody calls me Frankie anymore. It's just Sophie. Are you still married to Dan Bennett?
Divorced. Kept the name, though. Waste of money changing it back.
I was wondering if you could help me with something.
Daniel Bennett, hurry up and get this cargo loaded. I'm not waiting around here all day. Sorry, you were saying?
I thought you said you were divorced.
Oh, we are. Can't stand each other. But I'm a pilot. Dan's an engineer, and neither of us could find another crewmate to partner with. Not to mention this ship's too nice to give up. You know how these things go. So, how are you?
As it happens, I'm not really here for a chat. I'm in private security now.
As it happens, I'm not stupid. If I do a job somewhere, I find out who's running the show. Who'd have thought it? Frankie Franks turning on her own. A smuggler hunting smugglers, speaking fancy, and making like she's respectable.
I'm not the only one who's changed her colours. You used to be low-level, Mariah. You turned a respectable prophet, but you stayed away from guns and narcotics. Now I find out you're smuggling assault rifles and grenade launchers.
Assault rifles and grenade launchers? Have you lost your mind? I thought this was about the medical supplies.
Don't play innocent with me. The medical supplies are a front. Most of the crates are being used to smuggle weapons.
I swear I don't know anything about this. Look, Governor Warren approached me with the deal. I said I could do it, but my ship couldn't handle the volume he wanted bringing in. I had to subcontract. I know your style, the kinds of things you overlook. So I was able to tell the other crews how to get past your security checks.
So you've told a gang of heavily armed, murderous, gun-running thugs my every weakness and vulnerability?
I thought they were all right. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Give me names and I might be able to overlook some of the very serious crimes I could charge you with right now.
Look, I don't know anything.
Sure. So, new ship, huh? Very nice. Something about it's very familiar, though. An Alpha-class cruising yacht. Almost unique design. I'm sure I've seen it somewhere before.
Okay, fine. I swiped the Icarus of that bastard Gascoigne, but you wouldn't turn me in for that. Not old Frankie.
Didn't you hear me? It's not Frankie anymore.
Fine. You always did play dirty. The only name I've got is James Baxter. I usually talk to the rest of the crews through him.
Right. Set up a meeting with Mr. Baxter. I've got a little surprise for him.
Mr. Yates, is there something wrong with Ika Roa's communications relays?
Not that I'm aware of, sir. Why?
I've been trying to get through to Kara all day to say a final farewell.
Maybe it's an internal fault with their systems. Do you want me to radio the planet? Get it checked out?
No, don't worry.
The Volador is hailing us, sir. Captain Clark wishes to speak to you.
Put it through.
Captain Darrow, I need your help with something, if you have the time.
What is it, Clark?
Shayne McFadden.
Yes. Don't get me started on Shayne McFadden.
He won't let me deploy the Valorous Marines onto the planet.
Yeah, Shayne doesn't like Marines very much.
I'm not having that amateur, Sophie Franks, running security on my planet. But McFadden insists I haven't got the proper security authorization.
Yeah, he's right. Only I can authorise military deployment until I sign you in as presiding officer under the Esther Charter.
I want my Marines deployed, Darrow.
Well, then you'll have to wait a few more hours until you're officially in charge, won't you? I won't be the one to force these Marines onto Shayne.
Very well, Captain. But things are really going to change around here. Volador out.
Sophie, I hear you've made an arrest in connection with your case.
You've got yourself in a whole lot more trouble than you bargained for, Warren. The man I arrested was part of the gang Mariah Bennett hired to smuggle your meds. It turns out this gang is in the pay of the Terra Nova, a Martian organised crime syndicate.
The Martians? Are they still a separate power from Earth? I'm afraid I'm a few hundred years out of date when it comes to the intricacies of galactic politics.
The Earth and Mars councils are separate bodies, both giving orders to the rest of the galaxy from inside the solar system. The legitimate trading arm of Mars Council is the OPC, the Outer Planets Corporation, but Terra Nova gets the Council's dirty work done.
So this is bad? Very bad?
Yes, Governor. I'd say the embarrassment of having 6 of their men killed by a local police force will have made the Terra Nova just a little pissed off.
Are you anticipating reprisals?
At this stage,
Sir, Governor Warren, come quickly. Something's happened.
What is it, Gregson?
It's Anderson, sir. He was on his way here to the meeting as
Spit it out, Gregson.
His car never made it. It was hijacked.
Is Anderson all right?
No, there was a ransom demand. $30 million. We've got 4 hours. I mean, 3 hours and 47 minutes to pay up.
Friends of yours, Sophie?
That isn't the Terra Nova style. If they want to make reprisals, they just kill.
What if this group is just employed by Terra Nova?
No, you're right. If this group can't make their payments to the Terra Nova, they're as good as dead. They may be trying to ransom Anderson to make back the money they lost on the guns.
Well, this administration is not going to start paying ransom demands, not even to save a member of its government.
But Warren, we can't just let Mr. Anderson be killed.
That's not my intention. Sophie, can you question your prisoner? Find out where they're hiding it.
I can try.
Good. If you get the information, make the raid yourself. I don't want a repeat of Chief Breton's latest exploits.
Nurse Rose, what are you doing?
Taking video footage of all these frozen bodies.
This is a restricted area.
Look, Amelie, I haven't been entirely truthful with you. I didn't misplace some blood samples. I wanted to get into the lab to see if my suspicions were true.
What suspicions?
Over the time I've been working for Dr. Mallory, I've noticed that some of the patients he treats disappear for no apparent reason, particularly the locals on worlds like these. It's usually people who nobody's going to miss, and he moves on every few months.
You're suggesting Dr. Mallory kidnaps his own patients and stores them against their will? For what purpose?
I don't know, But the local people who go to his clinics aren't his real patients. His real patients are the rich bigwigs like Gascoigne who pay through the nose for experimental treatments.
What are you planning to do with this footage?
We have to go to the authorities.
A recording of some people in vital suspension is not enough to go to the authorities with. This is only illegal if the people are being held against their will.
I have other evidence. Documents, financial transactions, statements from relatives with missing family members.
You're not really a nurse, are you?
I'm an investigative reporter. My real name is Rosemary Haynes. I work for Earth Network. I've been tracking Mallory for months, and I know that your real name is Amala, and that you're hiding here from your people.
Why didn't you tell me the truth from the beginning?
I wanted to make sure I could trust you. This footage is the final thing. I need to go public with my story. I'll expose Mallory for... Ah! What are you doing?
I've injected you with a muscle relaxant. I wouldn't try to walk. Soon you'll lose the ability to move your arms or speak.
Why?
For the first time in my life, I'm happy. Away from my people. Do you understand how long I've wanted this? Mallory has given me the chance to live my life as I choose. If there's an investigation, all that will change.
But don't you care about what Mallory's doing here?
You don't know what he's doing here.
It's pretty obvious he's using these poor souls in some unspeakable medical experiment.
If Mallory's doing what you say, he will have a good reason for it. I believe Nicholas is a good man.
You're deluding yourself.
I will check out all your claims very thoroughly. Then I will confront Dr. Mallory with your accusations. But I cannot allow you to go public with this until I've personally verified your story.
What are you going to do with me?
I won't harm you. I'm simply putting you in vital suspension.
No, you can't freeze me. You're just as bad as...
I'm sorry, Rosemary Haynes, but you left me with no other choice.
Damn it, Shayne. I've been questioning this guy over and over. I'm getting nowhere.
Well, you better keep trying. They just called to remind us we've got exactly 1 hour to pay, or they start sending us Anderson in pieces.
Baxter isn't going to crack if I keep asking him politely. I need authorization to use extreme measures.
I can't give you that kind of authorization, Sophie. Not legally. Having said that, I know a man who can.
Extreme measures.
It could be our only chance to save Anderson.
You want to torture a prisoner and you want me to authorise it?
Under the Esther Charter, you're permitted to authorise the use of alternative interrogation techniques where the situation dictates.
Yeah, I know the Esther Charter, Shayne, but first you stabbed me in the back by jumping ship to Gascoigne, and now you're asking me to let you torture someone. What's gotten into you?
This isn't about you and me, Darrow. I know you're upset that I'm not staying with the Entemidor, but a man's life is on the line. If we don't act now, Anderson will die.
Shayne, evidence obtained by torture isn't reliable, and there's a principle at stake here.
I'll tell you what's at stake, Darrow. Anderson is the only player in Ika Roa politics who has a cat's in hell's chance of standing up to Shelby once Warren is out of the picture. If Shelby wins the election, he'll kick the traitors out and turn the clock back on everything we've accomplished here.
Well, sorry, but I won't let you do it. I won't sanction torture.
Once again, the legendary Captain Darrow finds himself incapable of making a tough call. What a surprise.
I've made my decision, Shayne. Accept it. We don't negotiate with hostage takers and we don't torture them either. Darrow out.
Damn it!
I take it that's a no.
We don't have much time. If we can't get permission... Sophie, I need to know if you'd be prepared to do this without the proper authorization.
I work for you, not Darrow. As far as I'm concerned, it's your call.
If you follow an illegal order, there's not much I can do to protect you.
We have to save Anderson.
Then do it. Use whatever means you think necessary to get Baxter to speak.
Gascoigne, welcome aboard. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Spare me the pleasantries, Captain Clark. I'm not here for a chit-chat. Status update.
Right. Well, I've just received word from Shayne that their suspect has confessed.
Ha! About time.
Sophie is presently en route to the warehouse where Anderson is being held.
Excellent. You know, I made the right choice keeping Shayne on. That man knows how to get a result.
Gascoigne, there's a rumour Shayne ordered the use of torture.
Yes?
Torture.
We are living on the cold edge of humanity, Captain. The only civilization out here is primitive and brutal. If you don't respond in kind, they'll walk all over you.
But only Darrow has the authority.
You're new to all this, Captain, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. On Ika Roa, I am the authority. Do you understand?
Yes.
You had better do, Captain. When I recommended you for this position, I thought you shared my appetite for success. Don't disappoint me.
My men are in place around the back of the building, sir. We have them surrounded.
Okay, people. Move in. Everybody freeze! One move and you're dead!
Drop your weapons!
By the power of the Esther Charter, I'm placing you under arrest. If you do not speak when questioned, this may be taken as evidence of your guilt.
I was wondering when you people were going to get around to rescuing me.
Mr. Anderson, I presume?
Cutting it a little fine, don't you think?
Miss Franks, I'd like to express my gratitude to you on behalf of my entire administration for rescuing Congressman Anderson.
Just doing my job.
You managed to get the information you needed just in time. How did you get the prisoner to cooperate?
Tricks of the trade, Governor.
I wonder. You said that you could have helped get me the meds through customs. Does that offer still stand?
Yes. It means going around my own men. I'm not about to get them involved in this, but I'm sure I can work something out.
Thank you, Sophie. My people are very much in your debt.
You're saying you want me to continue smuggling the medication?
Yes, but only the meds, and this time you run the operation personally. No subcontracting.
Sophie, I told you I'm not cut out for an operation that size.
I've talked to our old friend, Frederick Wilde. He's going to come in and help you out for a 40% share.
I have to work with that asshole?
Come on, Mariah. I may have been out of the business a while, but even I know this is a dream opportunity. A security force willing to turn a blind eye? The operation practically runs itself.
I guess you're right.
We have a deal then?
I knew I liked you for a reason, Sophie.
You called me, Governor? John, your meds! Here, take them.
Yeah. Horrible.
You need to remember to take the blue pills every 20 minutes. They cut down on low-level symptoms.
They make me drowsy. I need a clear mind in this job.
Oh, sir, you're worse than my father when it comes to following the advice of doctors. Do I have to have an aide scheduled to come in 3 times an hour?
No. I'll start them up again. It's just... Never mind. Open the window, Gregson.
What, the window? But, sir, this is a fully air-conditioned environment.
Open the damn window. Pour me a whiskey.
Here. Sir, are you still going to step down as governor?
I don't have much of a choice. But Anderson will need a day or two to recover from his ordeal. I worry that Anderson's too keen on the traders. I'm always trying to keep their expansion under control. I'm concerned Anderson will just sign over everything for a few atmosphere generators and an envelope full of cash.
But the traders have been good to us so far.
Yes, but we can't become over-dependent. We can't lose the ability to deal with our own problems. Speaking of problems, I've been giving considerable thought to Sophie's arms.
Arms, sir? What's wrong with that?
No, you imbecile! Arms. Guns. They're smuggled guns. Somebody on Ika Roa wants those weapons. And that's going to become inconvenient for us.
You want to set up a meeting with Shayne McFadden?
No. I want to speak to Kara first. We know there are extremist factions in her compound. Maybe she can shed some light on all of this.
Sophie, do you fancy another go at that date we started last night?
Yeah. I was thinking we'd skip the restaurant, though.
You're not hungry?
Shayne, I appreciate the romantic gesture, but realistically, we've only got a couple of hours at most until there's another security crisis. So, how about we go straight to my place?
I won't argue with that.
Governor, I'm on the line to the First People's compound, but they say the Kara is presently indisposed.
Yes, I'll speak to him. Pass me the phone. This is Warren. Governor Warren, who do you think? I need to speak to the Kara urgently. And how long will she be indisposed? Indefinitely? Right, I see. She's in one of her moods, isn't she? What's it this time? This is a matter of planetary security and she's having a tantrum about, what, unauthorised building work? Bollocks to propriety. I'm coming over. Gregson, get my private car ready to leave.
I can come with you.
No, stay here and keep pestering them on the phone.
Yes, I'll arrange an official convoy for you, sir.
No, they'll just get their backs up.
Oh, sir, you need to put on a tie.
Give it here, Gregson.
No, it's okay, sir. Let me help. I want to do it.
This is demeaning. I'm not even strong enough to do up the top button on my shirt.
It's okay, sir. I had to do this for my father, too. It's nothing to be embarrassed about.
Okay, I think the bloody thing's straight enough, Gregson. I need to get going. Where's the Kara? I demand you let me see her.
Governor Warren, quiet, please. Come this way. I shall take you to the Kara at once.
Damn right you will, Sonny. This isn't the way to the Kara's residence.
In here, please.
Warren, help!
Kara? Ugh!
Guards, bind the governor's arms and legs.
Get off me! Get
Be grateful, Governor. We have brought you to Kara, who you were so desperate to see.
Warren!
Kara, what the hell's going on?
Warren, I'm so sorry. It happened so quickly. Armed dissidents have overrun the compound. They've deposed me and seized control of the council chambers.
Your own people did this to you.
They're moving men into your city as we speak. They're preparing an attack.
Good gods.
Warren, I'm so sorry. This is the start of a war.
In Ika Roa Episode 5, Amala was played by Joe Brandon, Captain Clark by Katie Godman, Captain Darrow by Fred Ahrens, Governor Warren by Rob Pashley. Gregson and Gascoigne by Marcos Avlonitis, Kara by Rachel Avloniti, Dr. Mallory by Richard Caves, Mariah by Shanti Phillips, Nurse Rose by Katerina Avloniti, Shayne McFadgen by Luke Smith, Shelby and Anderson by Stephen Rowley, Sophie Franks, Natalie Brimacombe, and Commander Yates was played by Chris Hall. Other parts were played by members of the cast. Ika Roa was written and produced by Richard Caves and Marcos Avlonitis and directed by Marcos Avlonitis. Sound design was by Sam Lazell. Ika Roa is a RicoMark production for ELFM.